Have you ever noticed that the biggest battle in your life is rarely against other people? It's against yourself. The alarm goes off and you hit snooze. You promise to start tomorrow. You know exactly what needs to be done, but somehow you still don't do it. And slowly, without realizing it, your own excuses become stronger than your dreams. Here's what Marcus Aurelius understood better than almost anyone else. Your future is not decided by your talent. It's decided by what you repeatedly do when no one is watching. That is self-discipline, not punishment, not suffering, but the quiet ability to do what is right even when every part of you wants the easier path. Today, you'll discover 10 timeless Stoic principles that can transform the way you think, work, and live. These are the same ideas that helped emperors lead nations, philosophers endure hardship, and ordinary people become extraordinary through consistency rather than motivation. Stay until the end, because the final principle ties everything together and it may completely change how you define discipline. Principle 1. Master your mind before you master your life. Everything begins in the mind. Most people believe discipline starts with action. The Stoics believed it starts with thought, because before every action, there is a decision, and before every decision, there is a belief. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm lazy," your actions will eventually prove you right. If you believe you're incapable, your mind will search for evidence to support that belief. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the quality of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Think about that. Your life follows the direction of your thinking. Every morning, before the world tells you who to be, take a moment to remind yourself who you choose to become. Not perfect, just better than yesterday. Discipline begins the moment you stop negotiating with your excuses. Instead of asking, "Do I feel like doing this?" ask, "Is this the right thing to do?" That small change in thinking changes everything. Pattern interrupt. Imagine a captain steering a ship. The ocean is unpredictable. Storms come without warning. Winds constantly change. But the captain doesn't control the ocean. He controls the wheel. Your thoughts are that wheel. If you learn to control them, life's storms become far less dangerous. Principle 2. Embrace discomfort every day. Here's a truth most people try to avoid. Growth is uncomfortable. The gym hurts. Studying feels difficult. Building a business is stressful. Waking up early is uncomfortable. But avoiding discomfort creates an even greater pain later. Regret. The Stoics intentionally practiced discomfort, not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they refused to become dependent on comfort. Seneca sometimes wore simple clothing despite his wealth. He ate plain meals. He reminded himself that happiness did not depend on luxury. Why? Because the less comfort controlled him, the freer he became. Ask yourself this: how often do you let temporary comfort decide your future? 5 more minutes in bed, 1 more episode, 1 more excuse. Those small choices seem harmless until they become your identity. Every time you choose the harder but better option, you strengthen something invisible, your character. And character is what carries you when motivation disappears. Imagine 2 swords. One sits untouched inside a display case. The other is forged in blazing fire and struck thousands of times by the blacksmith's hammer. Which one becomes stronger? You already know the answer. Pressure creates strength. The same is true for people. Principle 3. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Motivation is exciting. It makes you believe today will be different. The problem is, tomorrow motivation often disappears. The Stoics never depended on feelings. They depended on habits. A farmer doesn't wake up every morning asking if he feels like watering his crops. He simply does it. Because he understands the harvest depends on today's work. Your future works exactly the same way. Every disciplined action is a seed. You may not see results immediately, but the harvest is coming. Most people quit because they expect instant progress. The Stoics expected slow progress. That's why they rarely gave up. They weren't obsessed with speed. They were committed to consistency. Imagine improving just 1% every day. It sounds insignificant, but after a year, you're almost unrecognizable. That's the quiet power of discipline, not dramatic effort, daily effort. Think about a river. It doesn't cut through stone because it's powerful. It cuts through stone because it never stops flowing. Consistency always defeats intensity. Principle 4. Control your emotions before they control you. One angry decision can destroy years of progress. One emotional reaction can ruin an important relationship. One impulsive choice can delay your goals for months. The Stoics understood something modern society often forgets. You don't have to react to every emotion you feel. An emotion is information, not a command. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to pause before responding, to observe his emotions instead of obeying them. Imagine someone insults you. Most people immediately react. They argue, defend themselves, seek revenge. The Stoic pauses, not because they are weak, because they understand that every reaction is a choice. Real discipline isn't only about waking up early or working hard. It's about remaining calm when life invites you to lose control. Anyone can stay peaceful when everything goes their way. True discipline appears when nothing goes your way, and you still choose wisdom over emotion. That's what separates ordinary people from extraordinary ones. Because every time you master your emotions, you strengthen your mind, and every strong mind creates a stronger future. Principle 5. Focus only on what you can control. One of the biggest reasons people lose discipline isn't laziness, it's distraction. They waste hours worrying about things they can't change. What other people think, the economy, the past, the future, the opinions of strangers. The Stoics divided life into two simple categories. Things you control, things you don't. Your effort, you control it. Your attitude, you control it. Your habits, you control them. Whether someone likes you, you don't. Whether life is fair, you don't. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that peace comes from focusing only on what belongs to you. Imagine trying to carry two backpacks. One contains your responsibilities. The other contains everyone else's expectations. Eventually, the weight becomes unbearable. Now imagine setting one backpack down. Suddenly, walking becomes easier. That's exactly what happens when you stop trying to control the uncontrollable. Discipline grows when your energy is invested where it actually matters. Every minute spent complaining is a minute stolen from improving. Think of an archer aiming at a target. The archer controls the aim, the release, the preparation. But once the arrow leaves the bow, the wind takes over. The Stoics said your job is to shoot well, not to control the wind. Principle 6. Guard your time like your greatest treasure. Most people protect their money more carefully than their time. Lose $10, and you'll notice immediately. Lose 3 hours scrolling through your phone, and you barely think about it. Yet time is the one thing you can never earn back. Seneca wrote that life isn't short. We simply waste much of it. That sentence should make every one of us pause. Imagine someone handed you $86,400 every morning. The only rule? Anything you didn't use by midnight would disappear forever. You'd plan every dollar carefully, but every single day, life gives you something even more valuable. 86,400 seconds. Most people spend them reacting instead of creating, complaining instead of learning, watching instead of building. Discipline begins when you become intentional with your time. Ask yourself every morning, does the way I spend today move me closer to the person I want to become? If the answer is no, change something. Small changes repeated daily become remarkable results. Principle 7. Turn every obstacle into training. Life will never stop testing you. You'll lose opportunities. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Some days, you'll feel like quitting. The difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people isn't that one group avoids hardship. It's that one group uses hardship. Marcus Aurelius believed the obstacle itself becomes the path. Think about lifting weights. The resistance is exactly what builds strength. Remove the resistance, and the muscles never grow. Life works the same way. Every setback develops patience. Every criticism teaches humility. Every failure offers wisdom. The obstacle isn't stopping your progress. It is your progress. The next time life becomes difficult, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" That single question changes frustration into growth. A diamond begins as ordinary carbon. Only immense pressure transforms it into something extraordinary. Without pressure, there is no diamond. Without challenges, there is no stronger version of you. Principle 8. Build daily rituals, not occasional effort. Most people rely on motivation. The Stoics relied on routines. Marcus Aurelius didn't wake up hoping to become disciplined. He practiced discipline every single day. That's the difference. Success isn't one extraordinary decision. It's thousands of ordinary decisions repeated consistently. Wake up, read, exercise, reflect, work, improve, repeat. Imagine building a brick wall. One brick seems insignificant. 10 bricks don't look impressive. 100 bricks still don't resemble a house. But eventually, those same bricks become something impossible to ignore. Your habits are those bricks. Never underestimate small actions, because your future never arrives all at once. It arrives one day at a time. Principle 9. Live as though today matters. The Stoics constantly reflected on mortality, not to become afraid, but to become awake. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that every day could be his last. Instead of making him anxious, it made him intentional. How differently would you live today if you truly believed it could never be repeated? Would you still waste hours worrying about insignificant things? Would you keep postponing your dreams? Would you continue waiting for the right time? Probably not, because the right time is rarely tomorrow. It's today. Discipline isn't about controlling your entire future. It's about honoring the day you've been given. One disciplined day becomes another, then another. Eventually, you wake up living the life you once dreamed about. Principle 10. Become the person you admire. Here's the final principle, and perhaps the most important. Stop asking, "How do I become successful?" Instead, ask, "Who do I need to become?" Because success isn't an event, it's an identity. A disciplined person doesn't wake up every morning deciding whether to act disciplined. They simply act according to who they are. Your habits shape your identity, and your identity shapes your future. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens that identity. Every excuse weakens it. The Stoics believed greatness isn't built through one heroic moment. It's built through thousands of quiet victories no one else ever sees. The early mornings, the difficult conversations, the workouts, the books, the discipline to continue when nobody is applauding. Those moments become your character, and your character eventually becomes your destiny. Let's go back to where we started. You thought your greatest battle was against procrastination, against distraction, against laziness. But now, you can see the truth. The greatest battle has always been between the person you are today and the person you're capable of becoming. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus all understood one timeless truth. You don't conquer the world by controlling other people. You conquer the world by mastering yourself. Discipline isn't about perfection. You will have bad days. You will fail. You will fall short. The Stoics expected that. What matters is that you stand back up again and again and again, because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you become someone your future self will thank. Remember these 10 Stoic principles. Master your mind. Embrace discomfort. Stop relying on motivation. Control your emotions. Focus on what you control. Guard your time. Turn obstacles into opportunities. Build daily rituals. Live with urgency. Become the person you admire. Don't try to master all 10 today. Choose one. Practice it consistently for the next 7 days. Small victories become lifelong transformation. If this message inspired you, comment discipline below as a commitment to yourself, not to me, but to the person you're becoming. Subscribe for more timeless lessons from Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. And remember, your future isn't built by what you intend to do. It's built by what you repeatedly do when no one is watching.